the studio on the website, bbc.co.uk/Saturday Kitchen. Catch more from me tomorrow over on BBC Two for Best Bites, and I'll be back here live at 10 a.m. next Saturday for more food and fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Woo!
Bye for now.
Every forehand, backhand, strawberry, rivalry. Every drop shot, posh pot, name drop, rain stop. Every dress, yes, match, catch. Fandoms, tantrums, sinners, winners. Every Brit, every hit, every nail-biting minute.
Quiet, please.
With live updates on the BBC Sport app, plus your choice of courts and the best action in ultra-high definition on iPlayer.
Hello, mate.
Wimbledon starts Monday across the BBC.
Radio 4, the more you listen,
the more you see.
It's the 1960s, a new era of rebellion and hope. But one can't help but wonder if things have really changed. They say when history repeats, the stakes are doubled. The story of how Eloise Page shaped the CIA continues in the hit drama podcast starring Ed Harris, Johnny Flynn, and me, Kim Cattrall. Central Intelligence. Listen on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
A former vicarage in Carmarthenshire takes us back in time. Homes Under the Hammer here in half an hour. Now, room for more?
Where the X am I? That's for me to know and you to find out.
Brand new Destination X, coming soon to BBC One and iPlayer.
What is Newscast?
There's a simple answer. It's about the news and it's a podcast.
It's not too noisy and shouty, and it's fair and it's open-minded.
The news is so bonkers. None of us have ever known anything like it.
Looking for the truth. It's not about opinion.
Because actually it's quite fun.
More fun than go to the pub.
Depends who it's with. For what you need to know, when you need to know it, listen to Newscast every day on BBC Sounds.
Ray takes over the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury and we've got the best view. Join us tonight at 9:10. Now on BBC One, we're going under the hammer.
Discover unique stories.
You've got obviously a well-ordered wardrobe going on, haven't you? Yeah.
Her work's still being copied and stolen by people like me.
Okay, so when are we going to change everything that makes this possible?
Only on the BBC. Watch on iPlayer. UEFA Women's Euro 2025, Switzerland versus Norway, Wednesday from 7 on BBC One and iPlayer.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia, and around the world it's time for Live Aid.
It had to be spectacular. It seemed a harebrained scheme. It seemed like this could never happen.
Direct from London.
The story of Live Aid, from its beginnings to its legacy.
You can plant a seed.
Live Aid at 40, when rock and roll took on the world. Starts Sunday the 6th of July on BBC Two and iPlayer.
Catch Charlie XCX at Glastonbury, tonight from 10:30. Watch on BBC iPlayer, listen on Sounds.
Now on BBC One, the lunchtime news with Martine Croxall.
Advice from CBeebies Parenting. Find out more by going online to the website. Or on iPlayer, Chef Heston Blumenthal shares the impact bipolar disorder has had on his life. Press red to watch now.
Catch Charlie XCX at Glastonbury, tonight from 10:30. Watch on BBC iPlayer, listen on Sounds.
Every forehand, backhand, strawberry, rivalry. Every drop shot, posh pot, name drop, rainstop. Every dress, yes. Match, catch. Fandoms, tantrums, sinners, winners. Every Brit, every hit, every nail-biting minute.
Quiet, please.
With live updates on the BBC Sport app, plus your choice of courts and the best action in ultra-high definition on iPlayer.
Hello, mate.
Wimbledon starts Monday across the BBC.
Radio 4. The more you listen,
the more you see. It's the 1960s, a new era of rebellion and hope. But one can't help but wonder if things have really changed. They say when history repeats, the stakes are doubled. The story of how Eloise Page shaped the CIA continues in the hit drama podcast starring Ed Harris, Johnny Flynn, and me, Kim Cattrall. Central Intelligence. Listen on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds.
Welcome to the year 2000. How would you act if you had nothing to lose? Brace yourself for impact.
What it feels like for a girl. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
This Farming Life at 1:05. First on BBC Two, A Taste of Life Down Under.
It's 12 noon in London, 7 a.m. in Philadelphia. And around the world, it's time for Live Aid.
It had to be spectacular. It seemed a harebrained scheme. It seemed like this could never happen.
Direct from London.
The story of Live Aid, from its beginnings to its legacy.
You can plant a seed.
Live Aid at 40, when rock and roll took on the world. Starts Sunday the 6th of July on BBC Two and iPlayer.
For a smashing summer of cricket, enjoy live commentary on 5 Sports Extra. Take an unorthodox look at the game in the Tailenders podcast and catch top interviews and analysis with Test Match Special. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Parenting comes with a lot of advice, so finding the right advice when you need it can be overwhelming. Introducing CBeebies Parenting, your go-to space for up-to-date expert advice and support on all things parenting.
Today we're going to be talking about bedtime routines, sleep hygiene and wind down.
Supporting families from day one to the first day of school. We've got what you need when you need it. CBeebies Parenting, here when you need us.
Brand new Destination X, coming soon to BBC One and iPlayer.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Centre.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
We're like the Avengers, you know?
Boom! He's getting me! He's getting me!
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
St. Denis Medical. Press red for all episodes on BBC iPlayer.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025, Switzerland versus Norway, Wednesday from 7 on BBC One and iPlayer.
What is newscast?
There's a simple answer. It's about the news and it's a podcast.
It's not too noisy and shouty, and it's fair and it's open-minded.
The news is so bonkers. None of us have ever known anything like it.
Looking for the truth. It's not about opinion.
It's like a brainstorm between us all and our colleagues, isn't it?
You don't have to take yourself seriously when you're talking about serious subjects.
There may not be a script, but there are facts.
This is going to make me sound like such a dweeb, because actually it's quite fun.
More fun than go to the pub.
Depends who it's with. For what you need to know, when you need to know it, listen to Newscast every day on BBC Sounds.
Now on BBC Two, whatever the weather, this farming life is round the clock.
This afternoon, despite calls for them to be banned after weeks of controversy surrounding their political commentary on stage. One of its members has been charged with allegedly displaying a flag in support of the proscribed terrorist organisation Hezbollah at a gig last November. He denies the charge. Our culture editor, Katie Razzle, is there. And it's not just about the band's performance, Katie, is it? But how it will be aired.
Well, exactly, Martine. The Glastonbury app is predicting a huge crowd at Kneecap. I have to say that the buzz here is actually much more about whether Pulp are going to make a surprise return later on here on the pyramid stage. That is heavily anticipated. But you're right, Kneecap's performance is controversial, particularly outside the festival, with the Prime Minister saying it wasn't appropriate for them to perform. And as you say, that is because one of the members is up on this terrorism charge that he denies. And as the official broadcaster, it has made it tricky for the BBC. They don't broadcast every set here by any means, but still, they don't want to be accused of censorship because this is a band that has very strong opinions on the Israel-Gaza conflict and is staunchly pro-Palestinian, but nor do they want to platform a band that potentially might do something illegal. I think that is highly unlikely. What we've had in the last few minutes is a statement from the BBC, as we anticipated, I have to say, saying that they will not broadcast it live, but they will broadcast parts of it later if it doesn't break editorial guidelines issues. Now, the other thing to tell you quickly is that Neil Young, there's good news for BBC and Neil Young fans, because despite what was said before, his headline act later today will now be broadcast live on the BBC. So that is great news.
Katie, thank you very much. Katie Razzle at Glastonbury. One of the world's richest men, the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, has married the journalist Lauren Sanchez in a lavish ceremony in Venice. The bride wore a gown by Italian designers Dolce & Gabbana, and it's thought over 200 guests enjoyed the festivities, which are said to have cost in the region of £35 million. Actors, reality stars and royals are among those enjoying the 3 days of celebrations, which end this evening with a big party. In rugby union, the British and Irish Lions have been in action in Australia. The start of their tour saw them take on the Western Force in Perth. Joe Linsky reports.
For the Lions, it's the time to find a team and find momentum. This is their first step down under. It's 3 weeks until the test match. But for this unique squad of 4 nations, there's pressure even from the warm-ups. Dan Sheehan led them against the Western Force, a side the Lions came expecting to see off here comfortably. But in Nick White, the Perth side responded. He will feature for Australia. Those 3 tests against the Wallabies are the climax of this tour, and for Andy Farrell's side, there is already promise.
That was a belter!
Thomas Williams is one of just 2 Welshmen in the squad, here finding combinations to score a special try. The Force now looked spent, overwhelmed by running Lions. By the end, the tourists had scored 8 tries. This first step down under, they hope, has set the tone. Joe Linsky, BBC News.
That's all from me. The next news on BBC One is at 5:40. Bye for now.
Good afternoon. It is already getting pretty hot down towards the south and the east of the UK. Temperatures well up into the mid to high 20s Celsius, and it will turn hotter still over the next few days. Pretty humid as well. For most places, it is going to be dry. Now, this heat wave has been taking shape across continental Europe. The area of high pressure responsible for that is drifting its way northwards and eastwards. We will tap into a southerly wind and the temperatures will continue to climb. But that certainly doesn't mean clear blue skies and unbroken sunshine all the time. Actually, as you can see from the satellite picture, there is a fair bit of cloud around. This stripe of cloud across northern England, even giving a few spots of rain through the afternoon. It is also really quite windy in the north of Scotland, gusts of 50 miles per hour or more in the most exposed spots. But those temperatures peaking across eastern England at around 29-30 degrees as we head towards the end of the afternoon. This evening and tonight, our weak weather front giving the odd splash of rain to northwest England and North Wales. It'll be quite murky, I think, around some of these southern and western coasts on what will be a humid and muggy night across the southern half of the UK. A little cooler and fresher further north. Check your overnight temperatures, of course, on the BBC Weather app. Into tomorrow, a fair bit of cloud around across some of these central parts of the UK, Wales into northern England, some mist and murk for some southern and western coasts. And we will also see some rain pushing in across the northwest of Scotland. But for many tomorrow, there'll be plenty of sunshine. It will feel humid, and in the southeast corner, it will feel hot with highs of 30 or 31 degrees. Now, split fortunes for Monday because it looks like we'll see cloud and perhaps some quite heavy rain across Northern Ireland and northwest Scotland. Further south and east, though, in the sunshine, temperatures climbing even further, 33, 34 degrees, but even northeast Scotland getting into the middle 20s Celsius. The southeast of the UK may be just as hot once again on Tuesday, but then from midweek onwards, it is set to turn more unsettled and also quite a lot cooler. Bye for now.
Like every forehand, backhand, strawberry, rivalry. Every drop shot, posh pop, name drop, brain stop. Every dress, yes, match, catch. Fandoms, tantrums, sinners, winners. Every Brit, every hit, every nail-biting minute.
Quiet, please.
With live updates on the BBC Sport app, plus your choice of courts and the best action in ultra-high definition on iPlayer.
Hello, mate.
Wimbledon starts Monday across the BBC.
Where the X am I? That's for me to know and you to find out.
Brand new Destination X, coming soon to BBC One and iPlayer.
Celebrity Bridge of Lies is here tonight at 6 with Bargain Hunt's very own Natasha Raskin-Sharp.